Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Carter.
It's January 4th, 2018, podcast number 4. Recording live from the Israeli moon base, this is Idiocracy Now. What's up, my Americans?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. 2018. I feel like an America do. America could.
Americould?
Amerido. That's
Maybe. 2018, that's going to be hard to write down.
Yeah, I just didn't that, but 2018. No, I'm good at that. I think it's me and the number 8 or something. As soon as it clicked over, I was like, that makes sense.
4 is my favorite number, so it's going to be a good podcast just because of that.
Yeah, I agree. I've got a good feeling about this one.
I got a couple of questions right off the bat. Can you guys educate me a little bit? Is it hardware is something that you can hold in your hands? Is software is like code that you put in a computer?
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, hardware is like the equipment.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Hardware is the
Hardware's like the physical stuff.
You're an idiot, Chris.
Hardware's what Tim doesn't have in front of his face, but he said, yeah, it's the physical stuff.
More equipment coming soon. It seems like the further we go into this journey, the more we have to pay. There's a lot to pay for. Microphones, and then, you get a microphone, you need a microphone cable. And then you need something to hold that microphone up. And then you're like, this doesn't sit right. And then you see another microphone you like, and then you have to get that. And then all of a sudden you're $700 in debt on your girlfriend's credit card, and she's yelling at you. It's horrible.
Yeah, and you're trying to describe to her what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. And she goes, how many people listen? And I say, thousands.
Yeah. It's paying off.
Yeah, I think it is.
I showed my daughter a clip earlier today, and I tried to find a spot that, a kid could actually hear.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to turn it off real fast and say, don't tell anybody.
Remember Chris, that guy with the beard? That's him. And he got in trouble for that, so don't worry about it. Did you do anything cool for New Year's Eve?
I got drunk, and I really shouldn't have.
How drunk? Off what?
Well, beer and wine. Not doing stupid shit drunk, but drunk enough to start playing music with some musicians in a way that probably didn't sound good to anybody.
I was at a party, and I smelled something in the air that I hadn't smelled since high school, and it was black tar opium.
Oh, I was gonna say patchouli.
But I have no idea what that is. I'm an American.
The other day, I was thinking, does Chris even know what patchouli is, or
No,
what it smells like?
I'm a goddamn American. Is it food?
It's like I think it's some sort of herb that hippies wear as an essential oil.
No.
And you smell it a lot at music festivals.
I'm Cartman when it comes to hippies. I'm not a big fan of hippies.
That's why I like you.
Though I have tapestries everywhere, but don't call me a goddamn hippie. I'm productive. I get up and work. I got work boots with actual scars on them. Do you?
Let me lace up my boots right now, actually.
Yeah. Well, I keep them tied, and I just sort of lace them around those eyelets that are open, those open eyelets.
So I feel like...
What is patchouli? Patchouli is a plant. Patchouli is a...
Oh, we got our Jamie, and we can Google.
Yes, Jamie!
This is
He's
great.
here. Hey, Tim, don't listen to last podcast. We might have been like, fuck that guy for not showing up today. Because it went a little slow, and it was like, hold on, I'm typing. Clickety-click, clickety-click. And then nothing's going on. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't find what I was looking for. So where were we? Oh, let's backtrack.
That was part of it, but
Yeah.
I thought about it later.
You're essential to this team. I mean, I can't. It's hard. It's hard to do without you. And he does have a mouth, and he will be able to chime in next week once this microphone cable comes in on Amazon. Right now, he's doing a lot of hand gestures like Silent Bob, like a lot of shaking of the hands and shrugging.
You guys can see that on video. It might actually load up all the way this time. It'll be excellent.
What's up, folks?
Well, I thought maybe one of the reasons it might have gone a little rougher last time is forgot to do my quick Rogan prayer. So it'll be fast. Don't worry.
We're doing this right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Bow your heads.
All right. Joe Rogan, teach me how to choose only your way today, so each step will lead me closer to you. Protect me from my own careless thoughts, words, especially words, and actions. Amen. Okay,
Amen.
got that out of the way. I was about to hit this bowl, but we can't both be coughing.
I think we're all lighting up right now. I think that's totally okay. And which leads me to some clips about that. I really hate to say it, but he's a motherfucker.
It's the Sessions.
Yeah, AG Sessions. I don't play anything yet. But this guy, and a lot of people, my theory is a lot of people didn't vote for Trump. They voted against Hillary. And Donald Trump is a byproduct of America's hatred for Hillary Clinton.
I would agree with that.
Donald Trump is the benefactor of hatred.
Yeah.
A lot of people voted for him, and then they found out that, that Jeff Sessions was an anti-pot person. And a lot of pot people voted for Trump.
There's a lot of pot people in general, especially freedom-loving people.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck? Is this still happening? This old school conservative type of stuff?
I hate to just, there's so much subject matter to make fun of this man, from his policies to just what he looks like. He's an asshole. And I think he's an asshole just because I'm so passionate about this marijuana issue. So find one of those clips. Go to... what was that 4-minute one?
The one you brought in?
That's that congressman one.
I think Sessions might be an asshole just because he's been around so long, being a prosecutor. And
all right, so I got this GOP senator that rips Sessions over marijuana policy, and it's a little bit long, a little bit wordy, but I think he encapsulates most of it. And this is coming from a fellow Republican. Go ahead and play that, please.
Up until about 8:58 this morning, we believed in Colorado that states' rights would be protected. Up until about 8:58, maybe it was 8:55, until Twitter told us otherwise, we believed that the will of Colorado voters
all our news
would
comes
be
from Twitter.
Respected. Why did we believe that? Well, conversations that I had with then Senator Jeff Sessions prior to his confirmation as Attorney General, what would happen with Colorado's marijuana policy. At the time, prior to his confirmation, then Senator Sessions said that he didn't have any plans told me there were no plans to reverse the Cole Memorandum. Then Senator Sessions told me that marijuana simply wasn't going to be on President Trump's agenda, that it was something that they weren't going to deal with, that's something that President Trump simply wasn't going to focus on. That was back in the spring of 2016, and up until 8:58 this morning, that was the policy. One tweet later, one policy later, a complete reversal.
that did happen today, I believe.
Of what many of us on the Hill were told before the
morning.
confirmation, what we had continued to believe the last year, and without any notification, conversation, or dialogue with Congress. Completely reversed.
Boo.
Now, perhaps the Department of Justice didn't think this would be a big deal. I understand Jeff Sessions, Attorney General Jeff Sessions' opposition to marijuana, of legalization of marijuana. I opposed the legalization of marijuana in Colorado, but this is about a decision by the state of Colorado, and we were told that states' rights would be protected, and not just by the Attorney General, then the nominee to be Attorney General. We were told that by then candidate Donald Trump. In fact, in Colorado, in July of 2016, President Trump was asked this question. When asked if President Trump, then candidate Trump, would use federal authority to shut down sales of recreational marijuana in states like Colorado, then candidate Donald Trump said, quote, "I wouldn't do that."
It'd cost him his
When asked if
presidency.
he, then candidate Trump, thinks Colorado should be allowed to do what it's doing, then candidate Trump said, "It's up to the states, absolutely." That was then candidate Trump's position. I would like to know from the Attorney General, what has changed? What has changed President Trump's mind that the Cole Memorandum would be reversed and rescinded? What has changed the president's mind? Why is Donald Trump thinking differently today about what he promised the people of Colorado in 2016
Can you pause that?
that reversed court.
I don't know. What do you think? I don't think it's really. I don't want to be a Trump defender, but I don't think it's necessarily Trump's policy. I think it's just the AG douchebag's policy out of his own office.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Trump really gives a shit about marijuana specifically. He's not a smoker, but I also don't think he's someone that is going to go with the unpopular.
Well, he seems like somebody that wants to win. And I think if he's going to piss off the people that smoke pot, I mean, there's only a small margin. He won by a small margin, right? If you piss off the people that smoke pot that did vote for him, that's going to tip that margin. And he will not regain he will not hold the presidency as an incumbent.
I feel like he knows that this is a mistake that happened today. Look, should we just update everybody in case they don't know what the hell this clip is really about? It's
Jeff Sessions.
Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General for America.
He's a little Southern goblin
for the feds. Yeah.
God, I hate him.
He's his policy. He's rescinding on an Obama era policy of not encouraging or really telling the Fed prosecutors that they shouldn't prosecute on marijuana crime if it's legal in the state, because each state has federal prosecutors that have offices in the state, and Jeff Sessions is saying to these prosecutors now that they will be given they'll be given discretion to enforce the federal law if they want to. So it'll still be kind of a state by state, but it'll be like it'll be like an attorney general by attorney general of each state who's like a federal, or not attorney general, but a federal prosecutor will be the one. So Michigan, the federal prosecutor will be able to crack down on medical marijuana if he wants to.
Yeah.
And it used to be under Obama, that was not the case. A year ago, they just didn't do that. There was no law saying that they had to, but they just were advised not to bother with state marijuana laws. And so
I think Trump's done playing. I think he doesn't want to he doesn't want to be president anymore. He wants to start that news company up that he was going to. I think he was planning on losing. I think he wanted to start up that news company. I think he wanted to make a lot of money making fun of Hillary Clinton when she got the presidency. Just a bunch of pushback, MSNBC and CNN stock went up when Trump. All they do is knock Trump, and people tune in for that. I think he doesn't want to play the game anymore. I think he's like, let that little motherfucker. Jeff Sessions is expendable. He almost lost his job, once or twice already?
Nobody likes the guy.
Nobody likes him.
Who's a Jeff Sessions supporter?
And he's I've seen in the news today that he's like in a lame duck era. He's not being productive in his chair. So I think he's reaching for straws. I think maybe Jeff Sessions doesn't want to play. There was just videos when we were researching this topic before we started here about some GOP senators want him to resign. They're calling over separate things.
The Freedom Caucus is not a fan either.
Yeah, I think he might be taking kickbacks from the pharmaceutical companies, or he's a complete idiot, or fucking both, or not even to mention private prisons. Or alcohol. There's so many people that have money, and that people buying bags of weed is taken away from their money. It's just like I got friends that are Marines that wish a war would pop off. They wish thousands of people would die just so they can go for a fucking job. And goddamn it, they love their fucking job. They don't want to go serve you a burger. They want to go fly a chopper.
Get in where the action is. And,
they want to do what they do. They want to do what a dog that's trained to hunt wants to hunt. So, think about it. You're at work all day with your buddies, and it just so happens that you're in a prison. So marijuana's legalized. All those people start being let out. They start serving their way the sentences, and they're not being refilled because the law's not instated. So all of a sudden, your buddy's got to leave. And he's like, I'm not a bad guy, but I wish a bus full of fucking people would get caught with a whole bunch of weed, and
that could be
and
a
I
thing.
could keep my fucking job, and I wouldn't get laid off.
It could be, let's say, what's a medical marijuana state that is more conservative? Anyway, one state might have a problem where their prisons aren't full enough.
Yeah.
Like Michigan has a contract. The state of Michigan has a contract with these private prison owners that say we guarantee you 90% occupancy.
How can that even happen?
So let's say it drops down to 80%, and the state's like, well, we're obligated and under contract.
We
to
got
find
a
some
quota.
criminals. And so then the federal prosecutor might say, well, I guess we got, but that would be, you'd be going to federal. That's different than state prison. So I guess that
Or on some deeper shit. What if the cartel? What if the cartel's like, yo, Sessions, here's a picture of you sleeping next to your wife.
I would love I'd love to hear the tape.
Here's a picture of you. Here's a picture of your grandchild. Here's a picture of your daughter taking a bath.
I find that unlikely.
Well,
Not that the cartel's like,
dude,
peanuts,
everything is on YouTube. I just watched a YouTube video of cocaine being bagged up, like this $20,000 cocaine bagging machine, and these people are sitting there speaking Colombian or whatever they speak in Colombia. I have no idea. Is it Portuguese? Maybe that's in Brazil.
Spanish, I think.
Either way, they're watching this thing just bagging up cocaine just as fast. Zink, shink, 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 shink. And every time I say that, a fucking $100 bag of cocaine is being dropped onto what likes thousands and thousands of bags of cocaine. And somebody's in the background just scooping mounds and mounds of flake, the good stuff. You know, the flake.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen the videos of the printing presses of dollar bills going and going?
Yeah.
I think Jeff Sessions is more likely not on that game than any cocaine.
So what I'm saying is, if these
motherfuckers
can do that, they're buying these type of machinery. I mean, they can hire some mercenaries to, I'm just saying.
Sure.
I'm just saying. I hate to get all Eddie Bravo on Joe Rogan.
Sure. I think it's possible. I just think there's other things that are probably more likely.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's that. There's other clips that we got. Go to another one. One of those small ones. Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's hear this one for about a minute and a half, probably.
Marijuana. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is ready to overturn an Obama-era policy that helped pave the way to legalize marijuana in the states.
Let's bring in CBS News Justice and Homeland Security correspondent Jeff Begays to start us off. Jeff, what does this mean for states like California, which just legalized recreational marijuana?
Well, that's a good question, and frankly, DOJ senior officials that we spoke with really couldn't clarify that. So there's still a lot of questions about this, but let me just set up what has happened now. The Department of Justice has just issued a one-page memo which essentially rescinds Obama-era legal guidance on the enforcement of marijuana laws, federal marijuana laws. And so what this new legal guidance does, and again, it's just one page, so there aren't a lot of details there, but what it does, according to senior DOJ officials, is gives prosecutors in districts more discretion in enforcing federal marijuana laws. Now, the question is, will that lead to more prosecutions in states that have legalized marijuana use? Well, senior DOJ officials couldn't really answer that question. They really don't know what this will mean.
We could probably stop it there.
But one senior DOJ official did tell us that this is a return to
like the old ways or something.
Gandalf doesn't like this fucking hobbit, that's for sure. Yeah, hey.
We all know about Gandalf.
70% Americans, you're wrong.
I see Trump as being too much of a populist to be behind that. But like you're saying, maybe he didn't even know he was going to win. Nobody did, so he probably didn't.
That's my theory, man. And what else was I going to say on this? I forgot. You know why? Because I smoke a lot of pot.
Oh, what I'm going to say is I don't think much will come of it for us, but it just became a little bit more possible that shit could go sour. But I think the wave is just too big. It's not stoppable by some Jeff Sessions dude.
What if he's like one of those Republicans that like hates gay people? but really,
Of course.
but,
Look at him.
But he sucks. But he sucks so much dick.
Of course, look at him.
So what if he's like, yeah, he does. Well, he's just that height. That fucking queer.
Hey,
Ain't nothing wrong with being queer. Sessions,
we're
come
short.
out. So I think that maybe he smokes a lot of pot at night.
He probably gets
There
drunk off of some.
There was a comment on
some cherry.
YouTube saying, I hope that, I don't want to say this, so I hope somebody else says that I hope he breaks his fucking back and needs medical marijuana or gets hooked.
That'd be great. Someone should go plant some. No, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
No, I hope he gets caught with weed. That'd be funny.
He just has like a pound in his trunk at all times. He's just a shill, but I don't know. I don't like it. Should we get to some fun stuff?
Well, he is, the ADF. If the ADF had it its way, gay people would be back in the closet for years in fear of going to jail.
ADF.
Yeah, what the fuck is the ADF? I don't know. But Jeff Sessions is a piece of shit.
So speaking of that,
Yeah. Speaking
what's
of that,
so
that's how we segue. How does your garden grow, bro? What's growing on?
it's been a little
What's
cold.
growing on?
It's been pretty cold. I've been living without a furnace,
Yeah,
and it's like negative 10 degrees here.
yeah.
And
No, actually, where you live, it's negative 250 degrees Fahrenheit.
yeah, but I grow on Earth. I just commute.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for anybody that wants to know that. That's the temperature of space. In the shade, it's negative 250, and in the sunlight, it's 250 plus Fahrenheit. So,
You sound pretty smart today.
well, that's because I am I am a deeply closeted intellectual,
Deeply.
but I don't let it come out.
No, I was gonna say I got the furnace started today. Finally, I've been working on it a while. Built it myself, saved myself a couple $1,000s, and just turned it on like 2 hours ago. And fire came out and started blasting air, and it was like that moment from Castaway, I think, when he starts fire. Tom, whatever the fuck his name is. Hanks. He starts. I think I remembered. He starts fire, and he's like, "Yes,
Yes.
woo!"
Well, it's a really primal experience.
Yeah. So I was feeling good on that.
No, he didn't start a fire. He saved his life.
With fire? Am I thinking of a different movie?
No, on Castaway, he's stuck on a fucking island.
Oh yeah, of
no
course.
fire, no life. I mean, he might have, but he wouldn't have lasted long.
Dude, in Michigan, no fire, no life, unless you got a lot of electric heaters.
455 degrees Fahrenheit. What does that mean?
It's
That's how
really
hot
hot.
the surface of the sun is?
Yeah, it's like 450 in your oven. No, that's the sun. I could just cook a pizza on the sun.
There's
No.
something called the cosmic background temperature that I didn't take into account. So obviously I'm not that smart.
Wow, that's.
Which is minus 455 degrees Fahrenheit.
Can you read that? Because I have a glare right where the words are. I'm just kind of curious that it says it's 455 in space.
Some parts of space are hot. Gas between stars, as well as the solar wind, both seem to be what we call empty space, yet they can be more than 1,000 degrees, even millions of degrees. Wow.
Holy smokes.
However, there is also something known as the cosmic background temperature, which is minus 455 degrees Fahrenheit.
Minus 455. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. That's why I wear my spacesuit when I go to space.
So are we doing Rachel Maddow's dick, or are we just gonna do Sessions' dick just to get back at him a little bit?
I was going to in a step toward manhood and maturing and podcasting.
Don't tell me we're leaving it.
I wasn't going to do a dick today.
Okay, I'll do whatever.
You're going to do a dick?
I haven't even thought about it.
Yo, if you start describing a dick, I'm going to have to jump in. But I was just going to...
Rachel Maddow. No.
Rachel Maddow's dick.
Yeah, we've done
Okay,
enough old
fuck.
guys, so...
Yeah, well, Rachel Maddow's dick is what I would look like if you were to open up a turtle's mouth and seen its tongue. That's what I you know, if you were to see a turtle yawn and that little pointy, it's like a dick without a head. It just comes to a point.
I figured it'd just be, a very large clit.
And that's what sound it makes when Rachel Maddow's dick goes out. And coincidentally, her dick is bigger than her little sister, Chris Hayes's.
How do you tie the glasses into it?
Look at the turtle. Look at that one. Find one. Yeah, that's it right there. That's what Rachel Maddow's whole setup looks like.
Yeah, so there's a hole, which is the mouth, and then a little dick, which is
little tiny tongue.
Which is the tongue. All right, we could just do a short dick segment, but you can't give that up, man. You're too good at it.
All right, fourth dick.
Fourth dick. But I won't mention it in the comments this time.
No, that's fine. No, I mean, you got me on it.
I've just been posting a lot of dick stuff all over our Twitter and everything. It's just well, this is Dick Show.
I tweeted this morning when I woke up, go away, I'm baiting. And I might have been baiting, but nobody knows because it's on Twitter. Once I figure out how to use that, it's going to be a lot awesome.
Go away, baiting.
See, that's what I was thinking. It's and he did say go away. I was thinking it was go away. Go away, baiting.
Go away, I'm baiting. Did you guys...
Go away,
his fucking chair looks awesome, though. You see, it's got speakers on the... And he's got speakers, and it's a recliner. And when he gets up, he's sitting on a toilet, and it must be filled with some type of drink because he's got a hose up to his mouth. While he's wearing a silk shirt with 1,000 different companies on it, like a mat that you see at a restaurant with all the towns, plowing and chiropractor and stuff like that.
Dude, you know that those lazy boys with toilets have to actually exist in the real world.
Oh fuck yeah,
they must.
Dude, there's enough dude. My dad
one at the apothecary shop right now.
One of my dad's things that he used to tell me is like, Chris, and this is back when there's 6 billion people on this planet. You don't think that hasn't been done? Come on now.
There's a lot of shit that hasn't been done, I think. There's 1 billion people that all believe the same thing. There's another billion that all do the same thing every day.
Go to that, go up, Tim.
All right, we're looking at toilet renovations.
Yeah, go to the Wayfair toilet. It's right up, third one from the left. Other left from the right then. Oh my God, it's like a wooden king's throne with a bucket.
Oh, it looks not very comfortable though. It's not a real throne. I'd like to see one with some cush and some.
Imagine cleaning up wood after you pooped on it. That doesn't sound fun.
There's worse. What about those like soft toilet seats?
Speaking of shit in your pants, you hear about this? You hear about something called swatting?
No.
You don't know what swatting is. You're not a gamer, are you?
Never heard of it.
I'm not a gamer either. Before I get into that, I bought a PS4, Carter.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that, and I thought I was going to recommend you get on some medication before you start.
I bought a PS4 because there was I forget what it's called. A Call of Duty had a World War II video game, and I just I like World War II stuff, so I bought a PS4 and the game, and I beat it. And
already?
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a few days ago?
This thing is the most fucked up thing that I've ever had to deal with in my whole entire life. I took it out. I put it all together. I did all the email crap. They asked me for my social security number to play a fucking video game. I remember...
It's a connection to the web.
I remember you put the game in, and it said 1 player or 2 player. And you're like, okay, I see where you're going with this.
Now they're like phone
number,
email.
Do I have a friend? Or am I playing by myself? No, I'm playing by myself. Okay, 1 player. And then you hit the start button. And then all of a sudden, you're playing a fucking game. Game goes in the console. You turn the console on. You press 1 player. And you're playing a fucking game. This, I take out of the box. I hook it up. I read stuff. I wait for stuff to load. I input all my personal information. They're like, dick size. What's your middle name? Where do you live? I need your age and your gender, and do not lie. It said that.
And do not lie.
And
we will know already.
It says it is very important that you give us your
assholes.
specific age. Do not lie. Why? Maybe advertisements. So I did that. It took me 3 fucking hours, right? At home. I bought it at midnight. Or I set it up at midnight. Bought it at 11. It takes me 3 hours to get till I give up. Till I can't, and then it goes back in the box. I actually, because I'm a fucking psycho, I held it above my head like Mufasa held Simba up on Pride Rock, and I was going to smash it in a fit of baller rage, like I don't give a fuck about $500 on my kitchen floor. But the only thing that didn't stop me is my girlfriend calling me a goddamn psycho, and I didn't want to go through that. So I box it back up, and then I take it to my apartment, and then I have one of my younger friends that is a gamer. He comes and sets it up, and even it takes him after that. After that, it takes him 2 hours to set this up and load this game up. And
What's that?
yeah, it is. You have to
ton
wait
of
for the
updates,
updates.
yeah.
So all I want to do is save a motherfucking princess and play Nintendo, but I got to give so much attention. So 5 hours it took me to hook up this PlayStation 4 and play it.
Yeah.
So these kids play the same game called Call of Duty, or basically any game that you can play online. Oh, and by the way, this podcast is brought to you by some of Carter's. We're talking about turtles.
Yeah.
Cardle.
I'll just go by Parker now.
Parker, yeah. Some of Carter's purple.
Purple champagne.
So these kids play Call of Duty, and they're fucking little assholes, and they fight back and forth, and they call the cops on each other when they get angry. Somehow they get their address, and so let's say I'm playing against you, and you bump my Mario Kart off the track, and I'm like, you're a faggot, you know, and you go, oh yeah, well that means your mom likes blowing faggots.
That sounds right. That's about how people talk on those things, right?
Oh, it's worse than that. Yeah, probably a lot of
I don't really play video games.
a lot of
ever,
racism
so.
going on there too. So, and then you're like, oh yeah, and then for some reason you know my address, and then you call the cops, and you're like, hey, my name's Matt, and I just fucked my little brother in my ass. I made my little brother fuck me in my ass, and I shot my mom in the head.
Oh God, one of those fake calls. Just call in on somebody.
All
That's
right,
terrible.
so go ahead,
Then the SWAT team comes in.
Tim.
Police in Los Angeles say a prankster is under arrest for allegedly making a false call to police in Wichita, Kansas, which led to the death of a father of 2. It is believed the suspect, Tyler Barris, called 911 during an argument with a fellow online gamer. Roxana Saberi has the story.
Wichita police released this body cam video of an officer shooting a man after receiving what they now think was a false report.
We believe this incident is a case of swatting, which is the act of deceiving emergency services into sending a police response to another person's address.
The deceased man is 28-year-old Andrew Finch.
shouldn't be that
Police
easy.
say a prankster called 911, claiming he lived in the home and had shot his father.
They were arguing and I shot him in the head and he's not breathing anymore.
The caller said he was armed and holding hostages and made threats.
I already poured gasoline all over the house. I might just set it on fire.
Okay, well, we don't need to do that, okay?
In a little bit, I might.
This is his blood.
Finch's
That's so
mother is
sad.
stunned by her son's death. Police shot and killed him after they say he reached for his waistband.
I'm not letting go until I have justice.
Finch was unarmed. Roxana Saberi, CBS News.
Did anybody get arrested for that? I mean, I assume so.
Yeah.
It's as easy as calling like your own personal mob hit to somebody's house. You just call the SWAT team. Basically, that's horrible. But I hope that guy rots somewhere.
I heard it was over $1.50, like for a game. Like
gotta watch out for those gamers, man.
And this Tyler Barris guy that did it, he wasn't even playing this guy in the game. Like, he was a third party, and they just heard him. They heard him arguing and called him in. And then I watched this video, top 10 people getting swatted live on camera.
Oh, that's gross.
Because what these gamers,
I'd watch it, but
set up a green screen, and then they game, and they project what they're gaming on the green screen behind them, and then all of a sudden they're playing in their bedroom, and the cops bust in the door and like, freeze, get on the ground, motherfucker. And then it's funny because there's videos from the UK, and it's just the police knock on the door and be like, oh, what's going on here? And then the kid goes, well, I like to show you my setup and what I do, and basically I just play online, and my address got leaked, right? My address got leaked, and that's why you're here. They say I probably have grenades or guns, and the cops are like, oh, but in America, they come in like you would imagine. What's up, motherfucker? Get down, get down, get down. And then, one of the cops runs in and just puts all his weight on one knee and puts it on your back. I don't know if you've ever been arrested violently, but I have. And they like run to you and drop their body with their knee on your fucking back. It sucks. And when you're already on the ground anyway.
So this is like this is kind of like a trendy thing that they're doing.
This is be careful, weed growers too, because it's happening to you. All of a sudden your buddy starts growing weed, and there's not a lot of clients in town. And
well, that thing's been around for forever. People have been doing that forever.
Yeah. But now it's a thing. Now it's a thing, and now
swatting.
It's swatting.
I was imagining it was like a prank where you like slap an ass or something.
If you give it a name, it gets more popular.
Sure, it becomes a meme.
Just walking up to somebody and punch them in the face
Police in Los Angeles say a prankster was
a dickhead thing to do. It was running up to them, and what now it's called the knockout game. And now the knockout game, you gave it a name, it got more popular.
Sure.
And people started getting knocked. So I can always imagine. I can only imagine that this is going to get a lot worse. Especially,
I sure hope not.
Now it's in fucking national news.
Maybe SWAT teams won't start running into people's houses as much.
And I feel bad for playing. This goes out to all you grown men playing video games. It's good once in a while. I'm not saying, do what makes you happy, but don't do it all the time. And definitely don't be so emotionally wrapped up in it. And if you have to give your address, like, that's one thing. I gave Sony all bullshit information, right? I never gave them any right information.
You're going to log on and it's going to say, you lied to us, because it's going to listen to this podcast.
Chris, we cried all last night because we're connected to the internet.
Man, there's no secrets nowadays. They've got everything. Not they, but like your shit's all over the place. There's in today's world, you gotta. I don't know. It's like there's two things you can do. You can like log off everything, hide, get like no phone, no video games, and just tap out, sign out,
which is
everything. Or you can do what we're doing and just jump in and like perform and be like, we're here. We're talking about growing weed.
Yeah.
We're smoking weed on the internet.
Yeah. I don't participate in social media, but I guess I do now because I tweet. And I'm being social and talking to you and putting stuff on YouTube. But YouTube also taught me to hate social media. Because I looked up videos on why Facebook is a corrupt company, why it's fucked up, why is there so much
Facebook sells a lot of your shit. They collect all sorts of things about you, and they sell it to third parties to use for advertising or
Mike Zuckerberg or whatever. Or Mark Zuckerberg one time bragged that he pacified so many odd people for so many odd hours with Farmville in a talk once, in a speech.
With vaudeville?
Farmville.
Oh, Farmville.
Where you like, oh, I planted crops today. Oh, I got a pig. And he used the word pacify.
Yeah, I know. Well, I knew a lady that used to do it for like, who knows, probably 4 to 6 hours a day. That's pretty pacifying. I've known people in my private life that have been completely pacified by Facebook, and it ruined relationships in the past.
Yeah. Speaking of fuck social media, hit us up on our Twitter at Idiocracy Now, and
yeah, give us a little baby pacifier to read.
No, how does Twitter work? Can they tweet at us, and I will see that, and I will respond.
They can tweet at us, like it's almost like a message, but it's also on their Twitter feed.
Yeah, how about this? If anybody tweets the word Easter nugget, I will mail you a $2 bill.
How are you going to get their address? Are they going to tweet their address? I think they can private message you their address.
Yeah, they would have to.
Okay. Timmy says yes. And
I will have Timmy check the Twitter to make sure you did come through, and I will mail you your $2 bill.
You know, I
will illegally sign that note.
I wanted to tweet.
No, I won't.
Tweet out to people that they should call in our call line if they're listening.
Yeah, well, if we're talking about Twitter, also hit me up.
Are you able to do that over there, Timmy? Are you able to tweet right now? Give him Chris's number.
Yep, it's 517-897-7759. Call anytime. Text
anytime.
Yeah, I don't care.
Especially 9 o'clock on Thursday.
Yeah, I don't. It's always on silent, and I get to it when I get to it. Hello? Which floor? The floor to your mom's mouth, bitch. Oh. Then I'm going to take the escalator down to her ass.
Tweet at us at Idiocracy Now at Idiocracy Now 1.
What's our email?
Our email is
idiocracynow at startmail.com. Leave a negative comment.
Please, I want a negative comment.
I know. I want to be one of those guys that gets all sorts of internet hate thrown at them.
Yeah.
And doesn't care.
Okay. Well, this should get us some internet hate. Do you know Eric?
All right, here we go.
Eric Gardner. He was a guy in New York, a big fat guy that was selling loose cigarettes outside of a store.
Choked.
And the cops surrounded him and took him down like a pack of hyenas on a big lion. And
you're really searching for that one.
Yeah. And he had a heart attack and he died. And he started that I Can't Breathe movement. And it was big within
I vaguely
Black
remember
Lives
that.
Matter.
Just like a chant you would do at a protest.
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
Just throwing them in there.
So, yeah. He had a heart attack. And, his daughter, Erica Gardner, she died of a heart attack at age 27 recently. I think it was a couple days ago.
So I wondered why you were bringing it up this late in the future.
Do you think it might have been in the family?
Possibly.
Yeah.
If you want to go get racial, it is definitely more of a black thing to have heart problems.
Well, this is, from Boston Scientific.
Especially if you're big.
The Health Equity for Life on this website. It gives you information on heart disease facts for women, Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, and Asian Americans. Fast facts, Black Americans, and risk factors. The prevalence of high blood pressure, hypertension in Black Americans is among the highest in the world, and it is increasing. Rates are particularly high for Black women. And she was a Black woman. Blacks develop high blood pressure earlier in life, and on average, their blood pressure numbers are way higher than whites.
And stroke is more common as well.
Yeah, 1.3 times greater rate of stroke, 1.8 times greater rate of fatal stroke, 1.5 times greater rate of death attributed to heart disease than whites.
And less health insurance?
And 77% more likely than white Americans to be diagnosed with diabetes. And on average, black women and Mexican American women are likely to be more overweight or obese than white women. 80% for the blacks, 78% for the Mexican Americans, and only 60% of the white women are overweight.
Here, let me help Tim out real quick. He's trying to do something. Oops.
That's what you get, Timmy.
That's just my thing now. I just hit buttons I shouldn't, I guess.
Erica Gardner died of a heart attack at 27. She protested for Black Lives Matter, and I'm saying she should have protested McDonald's.
That's a, yeah. She
Tweet
should
at us
have.
at Idiocracy Now at Idiocracy Now. 1.
Another fucking thing. CNN, I'm going to start a segment. This, our cable news network. Because once a day, CNN says something that's totally not fucking news. A truck blocked a view of Donald Trump.
they reported on that?
A sheriff in the town that Donald Trump plays golf in Mar-a-Lago parked a big moving van in front of where they like to sneak their pictures at the president. And they're like, they just, they put stuff up on CNN about like how we're so angry. And we did some research and we found out that the truck was parked at the sheriff's office. And
as someone who likes to take,
it's hard to even talk about because it's so inconsequential.
It is, but I can tie into that as someone who takes photos of billionaires.
From hundreds of yards away.
There's a lot of obstacles in your way usually.
I remember you're like, check out this picture I got of this guy 500 yards away, and he's smoking a cigarette. But you're like, I could get money for this picture, and I never. You have actually got paid from taking pictures.
I've been compensated.
Compensated? Is that what they say?
Let's see. Do you want to?
I got a fun fact.
All right.
Fun fact: the first baby that was born in the United States was in Guam, which makes total fucking sense. At 12 o'clock and 2 seconds, Guam is 15 hours ahead of the East Coast. Guam.
I solved the
fucking Guam. How is that a story? How about the first baby in a state that I know? I had to look up Guam. Do you know where Guam is? Yeah, you probably know.
Yeah,
it's in the Pacific Ocean.
That's about all I know, though.
And it's closer to fucking China than it is to us.
I believe that.
Yeah, Tim's zooming out. Yeah.
Here we go. It's pretty small, I guess.
All I can see is the Philippines. Can you even see? Yeah. So, basically, if you think Hawaii's far away, go farther than that. Like, double Hawaii, triple Hawaii. You could swim to China, but you wouldn't want to. It's thick with pollution.
That's America.
I look up a lot of the origins of the human race and stuff like that. I've been obsessed with that lately. I fall asleep to it, and so a video pops in on my YouTube feed. The first Bones in Alaska may tell us something about first Americans. It's like, why? They weren't Americans back then. Back then it was just, wasn't American at all.
It blew my daughter's mind when I told her like where Alaska is and how it's still part of the United States.
No,
and she's like, but how? It's way over there. I'm like,
we bought those people.
Yeah, was it the Russians that sold it to us? And then we were the early Americans. Well, you know what they mean. You know what they mean scientifically? If they're scientists and stuff.
Yeah.
They mean like North America, South America, that kind of America. So they are Americans.
Yeah,
but they weren't Americans. They're just
I
humans.
thought about that. But yeah, like this undiscovered land. I don't know what you would say.
The natives.
I was watching, speaking of going down the YouTube wormhole, there's a girl that feeds crows dog food. And they steal shit and bring it back to her for presents.
Wow.
Like buttons, like normal man-made stuff. There'll be beads.
Did they do it somewhat naturally, or did she train them specifically?
She didn't train them.
Get stuff?
They're just so grateful that this bitch is giving them dog food that they're like, yo, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And then they're like, here's a hood ornament. Here's a wire from a car that I gnawed off.
There's a book called Anastasia.
Here's a cigarette butt. But it's never like, sorry for cutting you off, but it's never like a cigarette butt. It's always like a hard item.
They know what's trash and what's not.
Yeah, they know what's trash and what's not.
There's this book called Anastasia, the Ringing Cedars or something. It's about this girl that lived in Siberia, who lived in the woods, naked, and supposedly, this is a nonfiction book. Supposedly, she would get the animals to bring her berries and nuts, and they would gather her food for her.
I'd bring her some nuts.
She slept in a bear cave with a bear.
That was me.
There was an Australian guy actually told me about this book and told me to get it because he believed full on that this really happened, and they get special powers from the cedar trees. But the same guy believed that you could grow plants with sacred geometry without water. And I'm like, no, can't
grow plants without water.
Yeah, I mean you can do air plants, but you can't just grow plants without water.
No.
I don't think anyway.
Plants?
There's the air plants, but he's talking plants. He's like, he might have even said light. I can't remember, but he's like, you just line up the plants in a certain shape, and it takes care of itself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'd like to punch that guy in the face.
He was, yeah. He did have a hydrogen cell in like his Chevy van that was powering his van. That was kind of neat.
You want to talk? Bitcoin's been in the news lately. You want to talk about that
Dude,
for a while?
So much in the news. Yeah, I'd like to hit on that. I brought in a clip about this fatwa. So a fatwa is like a
fatwa.
I think it's called. I think it's called fatwa.
Fatwa
is like a Muslim edict. So like a Muslim leader or like a what do they call them? Their spiritual leaders will put out these rules and
a sheikh.
No, not a sheikh. I have it written down here. But anyway, it's called a fatwa when they make a declaration of what everyone's supposed to do or not do. And they said Bitcoin is not allowed. So this is a really big imam from from Egypt said this about a month after Egypt opened up a Bitcoin exchange, or someone did in Egypt, and so a month later he's declares Bitcoin not allowed.
Wait, so say that one more time so I can understand it.
Okay. A Bitcoin exchange is just an online like website where you can buy and sell Bitcoins.
Okay, and this imam doesn't want it.
Doesn't want it in at all, but he especially doesn't want it in Egypt.
Okay.
And I guess let's play the clip and see if
The Grand Mufti of Egypt, Shoki Ibrahim Abdul Karim Alam, has issued an official order prohibiting transactions using the Bitcoin digital currency. In the fatwa, Shoki Alam said Muslims were not permitted to sell, buy, or rent using Bitcoins. The BBC's Hanan Razak sent this report from Cairo.
Bitcoin has been on the headlines, triggering a debate almost all over the world, and Egypt is no exception to that. The digital currency has now been deemed as haram or prohibited in Islamic Sharia law. According to the edict, using Bitcoin may risk fraud, cheating, or even harming people and some nations in some cases. We've come here to find out what people actually think about it.
What do you mean virtual currency? I have to touch the currency so I can use it.
I prefer our own money. People know
you can
it,
turn it
know
off
how to use it.
Or pause. Yeah, the rest of it is just people being like, "What the hell are you talking about? I don't use what's Bitcoin?" Because Egyptians apparently don't use Bitcoin a lot, which would explain why Bitcoin didn't crash after this. I figured a billion people a billion Muslims in the world that are no longer supposed to use Bitcoin might affect the price, but didn't.
Not at all.
I also on that note of this this new edict, I think all the Muslim listeners, or if they have friends that are Muslim, they should send the Bitcoins to us on our website, idiocracynow.net. You know, you're not supposed to use them, so we might as well for you. It's like the Amish kind of thing.
And also, don't mail us bombs.
Yeah, that's always great when I don't, that would be wonderful.
Do you think they're really good at smelling because their noses are so big?
They're good at smelling? I did not know this.
Man, you're really good at smelling.
I know a guy who
This
was really good at
podcast is
smelling.
brought to you by Blunts, bitch.
How many today?
That's not a number I'm prepared to release. This is at least the 5th. I woke up 1, 2, 3. This would have to be 4. 4. 5. This would have to be 5.
It's not too bad. And
how many blunts did you have today?
I've had like
how much? What do you
a
smoke?
bowl. About a bowl of weed a day.
A bowl of weed.
Oh, vape. I don't know. The vape pens I have are pretty weak, but So yeah. Anyway, I was doing some show prep at the coffee shop, like a hipster with my Mac.
At Beaners?
At Beaners before the podcast.
Was it Beaners or Starbucks?
It was a.
Starbucks is where the Illuminati goes to get their coffee.
It was Big B, but
Big B.
Big B.
Big B. There's a
They couldn't say they couldn't say Beaners anymore.
They sold it to a black guy named Big B. What's up, Big B? Oh shit. You go to Beaners. Hey, you want some coffee? No, I sold it to my homeboy Big B.
But anyway, it's weird. This is
Beaner got deported.
This is how. This is how
guy.
how popular Bitcoin is right now. To talk about it anyway, and I'm doing some show prep with this Bitcoin Fatwa video thing, and then a guy walks in who used to have a Bitcoin ATM, and he sees my screen and he's like, "Oh, are you already doing some Bitcoin trading?" And I was like, "No, man, I'm just getting ready for a podcast." And he was like, "Oh, I've got a podcast studio I'm setting up right now."
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Did you tell him, I hope you fail?
No, he's a really nice guy.
Well, I hope he fails.
He's awesome.
Actually,
and then I get in my car.
I don't hope you fail. I hope you do good.
And as I'm coming here on the radio, the first thing, as soon as I start up the car, Bitcoin news. They're like, well, Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, holy shit. This is a bubble that's getting pretty big.
You just had a bunch of Bitcoin.
Yeah. So yeah, I used to have no more than 5, I think. And
what would 5 Bitcoin get, Carter?
But that was like a year ago. It was not that long ago.
$75,000.
And now I have 0.
Now you have nothing, sir, and you're stuck in a podcast with me. And I'm glad to be here at the bottom with you. What are we going to eat today? More beans.
More beans.
Americans. But don't worry, I got my lazy boy with a toilet in it. I can watch movies and shit at the same time. And then when somebody knocks on the door, I say, go away, I'm baiting.
I don't know where these Bitcoin things are going to go. They'll probably keep going up for a while, but it does seem a little like it's a speculative market. People are just assuming it's going to go higher, so they're buying more and more. And
so our Jamie Timmy,
they're not really using them.
Had 33 Bitcoins, and he could have had $333,000.
Yeah,
but
we'd be balling.
I'm having trouble. You guys are so smart. I'm not. Well, not really, because you guys are both broke sitting here with me. But so let's just say that I have 5 Bitcoin. Where do I take those to get my money?
You can
Bitcoin just blow up. I have these.
That does take a little bit of research.
And where do I keep Bitcoin? On my.
You can keep it in.
Is there a Bitcoin website?
In one of those exchanges a lot of the times, or
like my bank has a website.
Yeah, or you can get a wallet that is online, but you can also have a wallet that's offline. I think that's like a piece of hardware. And then just if you really wanted to get your money, you could take the cut. You could go to ATMs that actually have money, which they sometimes don't. You can go shop at overstock.com. They take them, or they used to anyway. They have a lot of different stuff there.
Sorry. That made me giggle every time I read it.
There's ways of, you can actually meet someone in person and do a transaction like that, like you're doing a drug deal or something. I've done that before.
Sorry, folks. I've been coughing my ass off. You've done a drug deal with Bitcoin?
No. I went and sold a Bitcoin and for like
for drugs
for $1,300.
Really?
And then just left and gave him some numbers, and it was all good.
Really?
You like both have your computers out, and then like you put numbers in, and you see them show up in his computer.
Did when you were doing it, did that song diddle-oo, 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 dum 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 dum?
I was raised without music. I feel like I don't know a lot of songs, or you're just not singing it right.
Tim, tell me you know what I was saying.
Like the one that you're like breaking it.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. I was gonna say breaking into a bank.
God damn it.
Yeah. That did play in my head. No, it didn't.
Yeah. Well, it played in my head when you told me about it. I could just imagine you guys showing up, you and your Audi and him in a BMW, like, let's swap these. And this motherfucker's probably collecting them everywhere he can. You got your laptop? Yeah, I got my laptop. Do you have your laptop? Open your laptop. What are the numbers? Give me the numbers for the Bitcoin. Give me the Bitcoin. They're not dollars. They're not dollar. Okay, sorry.
You know what I did with that $1,300?
What?
I went and bought some more grow lights. I was like, this is a good investment. And I should have kept the Bitcoin, but
yeah,
it's all right. I'll get over it.
What the fatwa were you thinking?
I was thinking I should probably buy some more.
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel of the week.
Yeah. Do you have a? So, I just bought an iPad Pro 9.7 with a 4K camera, and it should be awesome. And we're going to get a jingle machine set up on here. So as we talk, we can hit these buttons, and I think it's going to add a lot of pizzazz to the show. What say you?
I thought you were going to say you were going to start plugging our video some more and say how awesome it's going to be to have an iPad for the video, but I like the idea of jingle buttons on an iPad.
Jingle buttons first, and then high quality video coming. Yeah. I mean, I don't like to think of this. I mean, we're no agenda fans, and we talk a lot about news clips, but I don't want this to be like no agenda in any way. And if it is, we're gonna have actual video. So
it will. I think this will end up being like more like a webcast with lots of video. Eventually, I just feel like that's kind of the way it's morphing. And speaking of no agenda, I think I gave it up for the new year. Not that I don't like it, but I think I gave it up just so it doesn't start morphing this show into something that's not us or whatever.
You want to empty out your cup and fill it yourself.
Oh, just the way you said that. Looked at me, I was like, "What cup? Where?" Yeah,
you want to cleanse your palate, before.
Yeah.
I guess. What do they say about learning? I mean, you want to learn something, but your cup is too full, so you got to empty out your cup.
We got this YouTube channel of the week is this guy who is. I think he emptied his cup before he started.
So far, my YouTube channels of the week were Steven Crowder and We Are Change, right?
Yeah, was there just two?
There might have been. I don't remember on the first one. But I know those were the two. And you sort of took a different route.
Well, this is just hilarious to me. It's this guy who this show's been around for a while. I think it's called Let's Paint TV, and you can a lot of the times you can call in. I think his show's morphed quite a bit too. But sometimes you can call in his call line, and
it looks very public access.
It might be public access actually. It looks just like it, but
public access prank calls are the funniest shit in the world.
We should do that to plug the show.
Yeah, we should.
So this guy he's painting, he's on a treadmill, he's cooking food, he's playing chess, and he's just kind of a wacky guy. It's called Let's Paint TV. You want to play just a little bit of this? I don't really know what it's going to sound like.
I think I recognize him.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting live edition of Let's Paint, Let's Cook, Let's Play Chess, and Let's Run on a Treadmill and take your calls all at the same time. Okay, I'm your host, John Killiff. We're taking your calls. There'll be the number there for you to call. We're going to go at a 3 miles an hour, 3.5 miles an hour. Here, okay, we'll take your calls. Bernard, I got the first move there, boom.
Oh, shit.
Okay, let's do a fried egg. We got the fried egg going on here.
Don't be trying to bluff me,
This is
Johnny
great.
boy.
Okay, fried egg sandwiches. Taking your call.
The guy clapping
right.
is definitely
All right,
mentally
I'm all.
handicapped.
Painting questions, cooking questions. Oh, is it my turn? Okay. All right, I'm going to go there.
Oh, you're going to lose this game.
Hey, I'm daring. I'm daring, man.
You're going to lose this game.
Okay, excuse the French. Whoops. Okay, fried egg sandwich. There we go. Boom. Get the bread right on top. Oh, shit. Close it down. There we
George
go.
Foreman cooking
Okay.
eggs in it.
Whoa. We got a good start here. Did a little painting. Played a little chess. Is it my move already, Bernard?
I bet you he sells those
You
paintings.
lost some pieces. Wait up.
Okay.
He's got the green
Okay, we're
screen
trying
action
too
in the
many
background,
things.
playing
Slow it
whatever
down,
he
John.
wants.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
Slow it down to 2 miles
Slow it
an
down.
hour.
We're going to slow it down up to 5.
You know, I think
4
we're
miles an
overshooting
hour.
what we're trying
Taking
to
your
do.
calls. Okay, so what are we going to paint today? What's going to be in our mindset today? Okay, I was thinking.
All right, pause it.
Yeah, you can pause it.
So let's just put a whole bunch of random shit up on a board and throw darts at it and be like, "Oh, today we walk a dog and suck a dick and stack boxes."
I don't want to do any of those things, but I'd cook and play chess. That sounds fine.
Cook and play chess. Yeah, I guess he is kind of stationary.
He's not, like, dude's, I don't know. He's on a treadmill. He's working out.
He could just put a dog on a leash right there and be like, "I'm walking a dog too."
I found out about this show because a friend of mine actually called in and was talking to him about the painting he was painting. And the guy was just
Does he
like
sell them?
throwing everything everywhere. I don't know. I would imagine he sells them.
What do you
This
mean
is this guy's job.
What was he throwing everywhere?
I don't know. I can't remember. Like paint or something, but it wasn't just him on a treadmill painting. There was another thing going on because he doesn't always cook and play chess. Sometimes he does other stuff, I think.
He should get drunk.
Oh, he does. There's one where there's one like one of the most popular ones is something about like mixed drinks and stuff, and I think he's like splashing a bunch of mixed drinks everywhere, painting and talking to people on the phone. I think it's a vastly superior show to anyone I've seen in a long time. And I strive to someday be there without sucking dick or walking dogs.
Man, you got some high aspirations. All right. So speaking of getting drunk, I got a clip about alcohol damage, and it's always funny to hear people from across the pond talk.
Yeah, I was thinking about this on the day after New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I had about a 7-8 year career with alcohol. And 3 of those years, I did not skip a day. I had a drink every day of the night.
I've been there.
Yeah, 3 years. That's it. And I was like, wow, I made it 1,000 days in a row. I got the flu one time, and it still didn't stop me from having a drink. I still took shots. But like, yeah, this cough medicine. This is my cough medicine. All right, go ahead.
We've long known that drinking too much alcohol isn't healthy. Now, scientists in Cambridge have added a stark new warning. They found damaged DNA in the stem cells of mice after giving them diluted alcohol, and say this points to an increased cancer risk for drinkers.
A missing part of the whole puzzle is how precisely alcohol causes damage to us. And what our research shows is that alcohol, as it's being processed by the body and converted into energy, transiently accumulates as a toxin which attacks DNA in a fundamental manner and damages the genetic information that constitutes the code of life.
Researchers examined the effects of acetaldehyde, a harmful chemical produced when the body processes alcohol. It also showed how we defend ourselves, producing an enzyme that can break down the chemical, and how DNA repair functions normally fix any damage.
In mice, when we take away the enzyme that clears the toxin, as well as this DNA repair pathway, then very small amounts of alcohol cause violent damage to the cells that produce blood. And we show these in 2 ways. First of all, we show that the chromosomes from these blood cells are fundamentally altered. And this is important because altered chromosomes or altered DNA is the basis of why cells ultimately go on to age or accumulate the changes that make them cancerous.
The study was funded by Cancer Research UK. It details how alcohol can increase the risk of developing breast, bowel, or
What did it say about making cells age? Did you hear that?
Not exactly, but that it makes them age.
I heard him say that we have enzymes that block that from happening. And they take away the enzymes in the mice, and then it damages their stem cell DNA and increases their cancer risk.
Oh, so the enzymes the enzymes are something that we have that's preventing that from happening?
And they have them too.
Well, that's
but
good.
they take.
I was worried for a second.
They take away. I know. I think this is like one of those "you're all gonna die" things. But the answer is sort of like in the report.
That's good. Well, it definitely makes you age faster. I can tell you that.
And how we started out the podcast with my stupid question about hardware and software. I had a computer chip flaw impacts billions of devices clip. Basically, just saying all your shit. From what I gathered from this, and I wanted your guys' take, if Timmy had his microphone cord. What the fuck does this mean? So, yeah, go ahead and play it, will you?
Tech firms are rushing to patch a security
Hold on.
hole that is affecting billions
Just turn it up
of
is all.
computers and smartphones. It's caused by two major flaws in computer chips called Meltdown and Spectre. They can allow hackers to steal sensitive data like passwords or see what tabs you've opened on your device. Researchers say Meltdown affects only chips made by Intel, while Spectre exists in almost every computing system. Let's find out what this means for us. I'm joined now by Bryce Boland from the cybersecurity firm FireEye. Bryce, good to see you again. Wow, how do I know whether one of my devices, a smartphone, a PC, a laptop, has been affected here?
Well, Christy, great question. If it's been built in the last 15 years, chances are pretty good that it's affected by one of these two vulnerabilities. Both of these vulnerabilities are basically part of what makes these computers so fast today is the capability that's been built into them, but that's it also has created a vulnerability, and that vulnerability is a bit like giving an attacker X-ray vision to be able to see into a safe and be able to see the secrets inside the safe.
Okay, I don't like that.
That's
So how do I
fucked up.
fix it?
Well, it's not going to be you who fixes it. It's going to be
You
mostly
can't.
two different groups of people. One is the software vendors, and we've already seen Microsoft and Google and Apple making, and Red Hat, Linux, making changes in their operating system to affect one of those bugs. And that will fix that bug. But there's another bug which enables pretty much anybody who wants to conduct an attack, who can get code on your machine, a web browser or an app installed on your phone, be able to see into the secrets on other parts of the phone, other parts of your computer. That's going to take quite a long time to fix. It's going to take software as well as redesigns of the hardware that we all use.
Wow, it's going to take a patch, it's going to take software, a redesign. A U.S. government statement, it says this, quote, fully removing the vulnerability requires replacing vulnerable CPU hardware. I mean, wait, does that mean that we need more than a patch here, that we have to actually replace our hardware?
To completely resolve all of the issues, that is currently the case. There is no way that you can completely solve this problem without hardware support. It is, in fact, a design flaw in the implementation of the chips that we all use. And that is why it's going to require hardware fixes. But that doesn't mean that all hardware needs to be replaced. Only those that are going to be most at risk. And in some areas, the hardware needs to be replaced if it's going to have significant performance degradation as a result of the software fixes as well.
And to clarify, this is not just an Intel chip problem. This is a serious overall chip maker design problem, again, affecting billions of our devices. How did this come to be? How did this happen?
Well, what's happened in the last 20 years, everyone's started to use computers for lots of things, and they wanted those computers to be faster and faster. And what we've seen here is a design choice that was made in a way to improve the speed of computers has created this opportunity for a vulnerability. It's a weakness in the design that wasn't always able to be easily exploited. And now some very intelligent researchers have identified a way to take advantage of it and to be able to exploit it in a way that would make every computer using those speed ups vulnerable. So that's why it's happened. It's something that has been talked about for a number of years, but now we have real world practical examples of how it can be exploited, and that creates a big risk for everybody going forward.
Was that today's news?
Yeah. Sounds like a built-in backdoor for the NSA.
Or really any criminal organization, including the NSA. But yeah, that's what it probably isn't a mistake. That's my guess.
Do you think there's any lawsuits going to happen?
Because Eddie Bravo would think that. But lawsuits, man. That sounds like there could be lawsuit heaven with that.
And if Spectre made a product that was in basically every electronic device that transmitted to the internet, don't you think they have a bunch of sub companies that would probably love to make the next piece of software
to fix it?
Yeah, just to fix so it's not detectable. So that they could spy undetected. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you mean.
Like
yeah, I just assume everything is like that. I assume everything that I have is somebody is collecting it. I don't know if it's the government or some corporation, but I assume that it's being collected. And it seems like that report kind of made that apparent.
One time I was at a Home Depot looking at vanities for my bathroom. I was thinking about redoing my bathroom. I went home, and on my laptop on the side of the YouTube was like it had a picture of a vanity from Home Depot, and it was aisle specific.
Yeah, that shit's real.
I never used the word vanity. I was like, oh, let's go look at the sinks.
I've got a crazy one for you.
Let's go look at the sinks and mirrors. We're like, oh, you mean you want a vanity? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Aisle specific.
So do you think it was GPSing, or do you think you were just talking about it and the microphone heard it?
Like I said, I never used the word vanity before.
So I know somebody who bought a computer specifically to buy some extracting equipment.
Yeah.
And because they didn't want their shit tracked, just even though it's legal here, but
people get paranoid, especially weed people.
So he takes this computer to a coffee shop, and then he goes home with his computer.
He sees you with another laptop and a guy with another laptop going pum 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 pum.
Yeah, like watching Bitcoin videos.
And he's right next to you, ordering a little fucking juice machine for his weed plants.
So he orders it on this computer. Never uses the computer again.
Yeah.
And then he goes over on his other computer at his house, and he starts getting ads for the exact fucking machine on the computer. And he can't figure out, did my phone track me?
Yeah, no. All your devices, your phone, like, believe me, I have a house and I have an apartment, and I have a phone that links these two things together. Like, stuff that's recommended on my YouTube here is on a whole nother account. Every time I do anything, I never use the same email twice. Does that?
I didn't know you had an email.
Well, you have to survive.
I see what you mean, to get to register stuff.
Tim set up my laptop, and I said, put whatever email, and it's banana 187
it just has to be a real address
69
that somebody has somewhere.
My cell phone is like Santa Claus. My last cell phone was ET phone home. R2D2 wins. Why? Because he does. I mean, I have everybody set me up all my electronics. So whenever I have to, make an email, I'm like, I just have to make a new one. Like, well, you need an email confirmation, so I got to make an email. And eventually, there's got to be, like, your email's going to have to be, like, 18, 19, 20 things long. It's fuck America in the ass with Kim Jong-un's dick, 420, 35, ..
I don't know. I don't think that's how it works. Unless people actually opened up like a million actual email accounts.
There's got to be a bunch of people
and
like
then just
me.
let them die or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, they die?
Well, they just never get visited.
They have an expiration date.
I don't know, but do you get what I'm saying? This guy never used the computer again.
Yeah. No, it's his phone.
So his phone must have been chirping, or the computer was doing the
They all
ultrasonic
talk.
chirp, and it said, "Well, this phone is right next to the computer," because I know that's a technology thing.
Yo,
they have,
no.
the
When
ultrasonic
people,
chirp.
when my friend Kelsey comes over, and all of a sudden, there's like EMD or what is it? Electronic EDM, electronic dance music. Like, oh, you must like Skrillex, and it shows up in my. It links. It has to, because she couldn't just walk in without her phone, and it just realizes that she's there. Or maybe it does. Maybe it picks up her voice and be like, oh, that's a voice with a speech pattern of a young white person, and you can hear in every commercial these days. There's like some electronic dance music in the background, trying to, like, even if you're gonna try to buy a Buick, there's like boom, 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 buy a Buick.
I like the Cadillac music.
So, they're yeah.
I just lost her camera again, so let's just keep. I'm not gonna stop the audio. I'm just gonna go over there and make a bunch of background noise.
Okay, cool. I'll talk about something. Yeah, cue up North Korea. I'm gonna grow my hair out and get it cut just like Kim Jong-un. And then I'm gonna feed my uncle to some dogs. And shoot my other uncle with an anti-aircraft gun. And then Dennis Rodman's gonna tell me that none of that ever happened. And that there's actually videos with his uncles that he has set to kill right behind him in recent videos. So, don't believe everything you hear, folks. God, look at that hair. He is such a fat. He looks like one of my aunts. North Korea hit one of its own cities with a ballistic missile last year. Here's what's going on. Back in April, Kim Jong-un's regime launched a Hwasong-12 intermediate something that's too fast. The missile test failed shortly after it was launched. The failure was widely reported, but nobody knew where exactly it hit. Now, the diplomat said it ended up hitting the city of Chakan, just about 2 hours from Pyongyang. The missile reportedly struck a complex of industrial or agricultural buildings. The complex was located in a populated area. Hi-ya! Not known whether there was any casualties.
Yeah, don't believe everything you read, but
Hey there, thanks for checking out.
interesting.
Hey there, thanks for checking out your tits, because that's the only thing I did.
What if he just like sent a missile over to a city because he knew his uncle was hanging out there? Just like, well, this will be easier.
Maybe it was a planned attack, and there was somebody in that building that he really hate. What if there was
What if it was a missile launch from South Korea and they just wanted to blame it on North Korea or something?
What if it was a fucked up American missile?
Right.
Maybe we thought he was there.
We need to go to North Korea and find out. Let's get a ticket.
You can go there.
It's hard. I don't think
Americans go there all the time.
They don't. Not really.
Dude.
I don't know. I've roomed with people that were going there, like in a few days, but that you had to leave. He wasn't American, but you had to leave all your literature and dollar bills and everything.
I was gonna do this clip about this fat American and his wife that go hiking in Afghanistan and get captured by the Taliban and have 3 kids in captivity.
Wow, how long were they captive for?
I forget how long.
That's
like 3-4 years or something. And then they were rescued in a mission, and then they were in Canada, and the guy just got arrested for like fucking around with minors and shit, and like 8 counts of assault and like kidnapping.
So she was just like held captive with a crazy sex addict.
He's Muslim now too. Yeah, or maybe
I'd read that biography.
Or he had to be before. I mean, he had the traditional Muslim beard that was shaved down to like below the chin. The Department of State strongly warns U.S. citizens not to travel to North Korea, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Well, it'd be whether or not they accept you in to the country. You can go anywhere you want as an American, I think. It's just whether or not I don't know if that's true, I guess, but I think you can go wherever you want. It's just a lot of countries, well, some countries don't allow you in. And some countries, like Canada, won't allow you in if you have a drunk driving record.
Yeah.
It's up to the discretion of the border guard, which sounds horrible. I have a drunk driving record from like 6 years ago or something. And I'm like, I don't know if I can go to Canada. If I need to go to Canada for anything, what am I going to do? Book a hotel and be like, well, I hope they let me through.
Yeah.
And then they're
well,
like, nope.
It's a fucked up drive. I mean, it's a 2-hour drive to the border.
It's a 2-hour drive. It's not very far.
Well, it's a 2-hour drive to see if you can.
Exactly. Yeah. Or go to get a $1,000 flight and find out you can't actually use it. What countries can you not travel to with a U.S. passport? India? Well, you need a...
My buddy travels to India all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so this is for like a visa. You need a visa for India, I'm sure. At least 1 month in advance notice. Russia, apply 90 days in advance. That's not true. I've gone there in a month. But China, apply 1 month in advance. That probably is...
How many... You bet.
Brazil, Bhutan, Iran. But you can get a...
You've been to Russia, China, and Brazil, haven't you?
You can get a visa. I've never been to South America.
Never been to South America? Wow.
I would like to.
Have you been to India?
I'd like to go there, too.
My friend Dave went to India, and he got a naked massage from a man.
I hope he comes on as a guest now.
He will. He's already buying a microphone because everybody's podcasting these days. And well, the strange fun fact, he returned the massage to the naked man.
Yeah, this is non-sexual, right?
No, it's part of his yoga class.
So it is sexual now. Sexy yoga.
Yeah, I'd throw another Y on the end because that's yo gay. Yo gay. Yoga, yo gay. What else you got, man?
Let's see what I have here. I was gonna open the show and say, howdy, Podna.
Podna? That's fucking genius.
Yeah, I thought so.
I love it.
Actually, I don't have, as far as notes go, man. We should talk about our lives or something here. We don't have any more racist kids to watch?
No, I tried to class this show up by not doing much work. I figure it was slow because of the holidays. Not a lot of shit in the news throughout Christmas and between do you know what a snow cyclone? Or no, it's a bomb cyclone?
Just say bomb a few more times.
Bomb. It's a bomb cyclone.
Never heard of a bomb cyclone. Is that a weather pattern?
Yeah, it's a new weather thing. A bomb cyclone is kind of like a snow hurricane. It's going on the East Coast. There's actually a little bit of video on radar that shows like extreme moisture taking over the whole Northeast, and then within a couple of hours, all that moisture turns to fucking ice, and this beautiful spectacle.
We've been hit with a super big cold spell. I'm sure a lot of people around the Midwest have.
I don't have heat tape on my dehumidifiers going outside, so all my dehumidifiers are not draining. So it's really hot in my room.
It's nice to have a drain in your floor.
But I got
kind of thing.
I got plenty of CO2 pumping, so hopefully it withstands the heat. I mean, it's not too much. It's like a little above 80, but
that's not bad at all. That's not bad with CO2. I don't think mine have been way too cold.
That's probably what they recommend.
I haven't had a furnace, so I just have my mini split heating this room, but not enough.
Mini splits are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of droopy, but they're turning super purple, so that's a plus, I guess.
Yeah, I love purple weed. I don't know what it is. Like it doesn't even have to be better. Just the fact that it looks
It's just
purple.
a different color, so it's exciting.
Uh-huh.
But some of the purple I don't really like because it'll turn kind of like a brownish grayish purple. I like this purple champagne is like a more of a magenta purple, like the color of a magenta Sharpie when it's in its prime. So it's nice and bright.
Yeah, my parents never bought me anything, so I don't know what magenta looks like. And it
I've
never
probably
came,
learned that from paint stuff.
and it never came up in art class. Because why? I'm not a queer.
I like to paint.
I went to art class one time. My dad showed up and beat me. He says, "What are you, a pussy?"
He showed up to school.
Yeah.
Get my kid out of here. What
Get
are you
my
trying to
fucking-
do?
He punched the art teacher in the face. Funny thing about that.
I almost think that you're serious, but you're not.
No.
Right?
But my art teacher, her name was Miss Fortuna. And coincidentally, Fortuna was for the tuna. We seen her at a fireworks expo, and she was holding hands with another girl, or another lady. And
Well, back then that was even more of a big deal.
it
You're
was
like,
a big-
holy shit.
when we went back to school, it was like Miss Fortuna was holding hands with a woman.
You guys must have been so happy to have that
Oh,
information.
Everything. Fortuna. Oh, yeah, she's really for the tuna.
I used to get drunk in the back of 9th grade art class.
Yeah.
We'd have to like swallow our burps.
Oh.
Probably how I got started, actually. No, I like to sculpt. I don't do a whole lot anymore, but that's probably my favorite form of art is sculpture. I took an oil painting class about a year ago that went pretty well. I always had trouble with oil paints, but then I found out you can blend things really well.
That's Rachel Maddow's dick. You should sculpt that.
I don't know if I'd want to waste my time on a little turtle face.
Remember that time when she was like, breaking news? Her whole show. It was, I remember because I watched all that shit.
Was it
Breaking
like
news, breaking
Russiagate
news.
or something?
No, like she had like one page of Donald Trump's tax returns from
Yes, I do remember that.
05.
And she
And
like
they-
held it off till the end of the show.
Yeah, they called her out on the internet. She was a laughing stock. Yeah, but she's a good dude.
I enjoy watching that show. If I'm gonna watch the news, sometimes I'll pick that one.
Yeah, she goes. You can see, like, you can tell, you can gauge by the veins in her neck how serious she is. She's got a really strong neck.
She does, yes.
I bet you she loves getting choked, and that's why her. Because I know a thing or two. I bet you like her neck muscles are so tough because she's always fighting the person choking her.
You know a lot of girls with strong necks.
That's what just saying.
Oh, that picture makes her look a
That
little hot.
that bitch got a neck on her like a giraffe. She got a neck like a giraffe.
That's one reason I watch. But I think I watched just for the same reason I used to watch Fox
Oh my
News all
god!
day.
Look at that picture where she looks even more like a boy. Like
The one on the hard right.
right there.
Rachel Maddow on the hard right. No,
That's Rachel Maddow.
that is Rachel Maddow. Yeah.
And more like Rashad Maddow.
I wouldn't mind taking her picture.
Is that Rachel Maddow's wife?
But what's her look-alike
This
that's
is-
on the same thing?
Look at Rachel Maddow's high school
Oh
senior
my
picture.
god. Like she
Wow.
in the 90s, she would have been a babe. She
Yeah.
looks like she could be on Full House.
Oh shit! Look at that neck.
I don't know. I'm really liking talking about
You
people's
say
looks on this
she,
show.
She looked like she could be in Full House.
Her picture from high school, yeah. She could have been one of the stars, one of the hot chicks.
It's advertised me this microphone that I've already bought.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, that makes sense.
if you enjoy
sort of.
your SM7B, you'll probably enjoy
Another one.
another SM7B.
Maybe they know that you're looking for more microphones.
Dude, I am not. After I bought that $25 piece of foam that went over that microphone that you're using, I have that sort of it's a piece of foam. It's a fucking clown nose. It's a motherfucking clown nose. $25?
Welcome to the world of professionalism. Yeah, everything's
Dude, it's
just
free
a little
shipping.
price.
That's
Yeah.
not in shipping. It's a fucking clown nose. Dude.
Don't break it.
It's a clown nose. You can ball it up in your pocket for a year, take it out. It's going to come up to that exact size. And you, dude, yeah.
I've got my little Lucky Charm stone here that fits right in it.
You know what you should use that for? Just a
little tiny cup of beer.
No, yeah, that'll hold. That won't hold water. That should be your new bong or your little pipe holder.
Maybe. Then it'll smell like weed.
Yeah, like my microphone.
I don't like resin ash. It's stinky.
It is. All right. Well, you want to wrap this up?
Idiocracy Now at startmail.com. Leave a negative comment.
517-897-7759.
Also, if anybody finds a clip of people lisping on NPR, you can send me that or anything of interest that you think should be on this show.
And if you made it this long, I forgot what the key word was to get a free $2 bill mailed to your door.
Oh, it was...
No, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
There's something about Nugget.
I'll know it when I see it.
Nugget surprise.
Nugget funk or something like that.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
We won't see them.
I can see right through that camera.
I won't even hear. I don't even know what. Like, who are we even talking to?
That's a good question. So drop us a line. Drop us a line. We want to talk to you for real.
Yo, if anybody calls me and I don't know you, I'll mail you a $2 bill.
Up to how many?
Just one.
Okay.
The first one.
Okay.
The second one. Fuck, if there's a second one. If there's only two, fuck it. $2 bills are going out. 2 2s.
All right. Until next week. This is Idiocracy Now.
And go away and baiting.
Boom. Oh, okay. Shit. Okay, let's do a fried egg. We got the fried egg going on here. Boom.